Chapter 9, The Last Flight. A crescendo of chanting rattled the square. Spotlights blazed, turning night into an eerie twilight. The man on stage drew closer to the microphone, his voice deepening to a near roar. The crowd, in perfect unison, responded with thunderous applause that shook the very stones. In that charged air, the fly clung to the microphone's stand, barely maintaining his grip. The pounding of the speaker's words vibrated into the fly's exoskeleton. He sensed his wings twitch uncontrollably, either from fatigue or from the overwhelming tension. This is it, he thought. I cannot hold out much longer. Yet he felt an inexplicable urge to move nearer, to see the speaker's face in full, to witness the raw power that made this crowd bow in reverence. Summoning the last vestiges of strength, the fly released his grip and fluttered upward. The glow of the stage lights hit him like a wave of heat. He jerked sideways, momentarily disoriented, until he recalibrated his flight path. When his compound eyes refocused, he found himself staring straight at the speaker, who had paused dramatically in mid-sentence. In that split second, the fly noticed the deep furrow in the man's brow, the beads of sweat accumulating on his temple, the tension in the cords of his neck. The man's mouth hung open, poised to unleash another torrent of words. The fly flew closer, not entirely by choice, more from a mixture of momentum and a final desperate curiosity. Then came the fateful moment, a sudden intake of breath from the speaker, his lungs gathering air to fuel the next commanding phrase. The fly, off balance and running on sheer will, was sucked forward, drawn by the pull of that inhalation. In an instant, the world blurred. He collided with the speaker's face, wings scraping against the man's lips. Time slowed for a fraction of a heartbeat. The fly felt the warmth of human breath, the vibration of vocal cords about to speak. Then, with a dizzying jolt, he was pulled inside, lost in the swirl of air, rushing into the speaker's throat. Coughing exploded across the microphone. The speaker choked, eyes bulging. He stumbled back, arms flailing. The microphone's screech pierced the night as it tumbled from its stand, amplifiers squealing with feedback. The crowd gasped in unison, shock rippling through their ranks. The fly, battered by the violent spasm of the speaker's gag reflex, felt a moment of sheer chaos. Darkness enveloped him. He spiraled in a maelstrom of forced air, saliva and panic. In the next instant, the speaker coughed violently, expelling the tiny intruder back out into the open air. But not before the fly's fragile body took a brutal beating. Stunned, the fly crashed onto the stage floor, his wings torn, senses reeling. From his vantage, he saw the speaker lurch forward, clutching his throat. Guards and officers rushed in, confusion reigning. The man tried to continue speaking, but his voice was a raw rasp. He staggered, knees buckling. An officer grabbed the microphone, shouting orders. Medics in white armbands rushed to the stage, pushing aside the stunned guards. The towering figure of the speaker collapsed onto a waiting stretcher. Retching and gasping, the crowd's roar was immediate. Some in panic, others in shock. Lights flashed erratically. Smoke flares that were meant for dramatic effect now took on a sinister haze. The fly lay there, battered and scarcely able to move. His vision, blurred by injury and exhaustion, registered only fragments, the frantic swirl of uniforms, the speaker's contorted expression as he was wheeled off, the crowd's stunned silence morphing into uproar. For a fleeting moment, the fly wondered what just happened. He hadn't intended to disrupt anything, but fate, it seemed, had a different plan. As consciousness ebbed, he experienced an odd clarity. In a life so short, each action could have unforeseen consequences. With his final flicker of awareness, he realized that his involuntary collision might have changed something profound. The speaker's rally was cut short. The crowd was in disarray. A turning point had been forced by the minuscule presence of a lone fly. His limbs grew numb. The stage lights above him merged into a spinning kaleidoscope of brightness, then dimmed. In that twilight of his senses, he accepted his end. A day's life, culminating here, amid the swirl of monumental human drama. He had sought meaning, never expecting it might be realized in such a bizarre, pivotal way. His compound eyes fluttered once more, capturing the last imagery, the speaker's limp form, being carried down the steps, the microphone squealing from somewhere in the background, and thousands of onlookers standing frozen in shock. Then the fly's world went black.
Please do me a huge favor and like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it.